Lessons from the crib. Be on time. Welcome back to the crib, everybody. Today, we're going to focus on building good timing on your drum set. Timing is the foundation of any solid performance. Whether you're on a stage with a band or you're just playing by yourself, good timing helps you to stay in sync with other musicians, creating a tight and cohesive sound. Now, why does having good timing matter so much? Timing ensures that each beat is properly placed with the musical context. And it's also essential for playing live gigs because it'll help you to lock in with the bass player, the guitar player, or any other instruments that are on the stage. During this lesson, we are going to get into some metronome practice. Using the metronome is going to sort of be your best friend during this journey of building your internal clock because practicing with a metronome at a comfortable speed and then gradually increasing that tempo as you improve will help you in your musicality. Let's start by warming up with some simple exercises that'll help you internalize the basic pulse. First, we're going to start off with quarter notes. We're going to play quarter notes with the metronome, focusing on playing each beat evenly. So we're going to set our metronome at 60 BPM. Right now, I'm using the metronome app. Anybody could download it, whether you have Android, whether you have iPhone, or even on your computers, you can go onto Google and just type in metronome and something will pop up where you could change the speeds and the amount of notes between those quarter notes in that metronome. And for those who don't know, BPM stands for beats per minute. All right, so we have our metronome set to 60 BPM and we're going to play single strokes, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. But we're going to play that to 60 BPM. It's pretty slow. So let's go. I know some of y'all are probably going to say, 60 BPM is too slow or it's too easy. But I promise, if you do this at least for 5 minutes a day, just be consistent in doing this so that you could build that internal pulse. All right, we like to call it an internal clock because you don't need a metronome all the time just to play a simple groove, whether you're playing it slow, medium tempo, or at a fast tempo. You should not need a metronome. And that is one of our goals today, is to help you build to the place where you do not need a metronome in order to keep good timing. All right, so here are a couple tips that I would like to give y'all while playing to slower tempos because they can be more difficult when you don't have a metronome or a click track playing behind you. First one I would like to give is to use your left foot on your hi-hat. Now, when I'm using my left foot on my hi-hat, I'm not bringing my whole foot up and back down. Most of the times, I'm keeping the front of my foot down and then the heel of my foot, I'll just tap a tempo. So if I'm going back at 60, I'm going 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And sometimes instead of doing quarter notes on the heel of my left foot, I'll just do it on the 8th note. So if you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, my heel will come down on the and while my snare is playing on the quarter note. So it'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are a couple tips that I use for my left foot, but if you're at an actual gig and you have to play like this, I like to tap my leg with my right drumstick because most of the times you're going to have your left hand on the snare or your right hand on the snare if you're a left-footed drummer, and you'll be playing like right? So say the song doesn't require hi-hats on a certain part, but you have to play your kick and your snare at a slow tempo. I like to keep quarters on my right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that always helps me keep good timing when I'm playing on stage with the band. And now that we've done our quarter note exercise, which doesn't take a long time, but it's something that you need to do in order to build that internal clock of yours, the next exercise that we're going to get into is we're going to play our eighth notes. And these eighth notes aren't going to be singles, but they will be double strokes. All right. And for those who don't know what a double stroke is, that is right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So So now that you know what double strokes are, we're going to use this exercise to play double strokes at 60 BPM, and then we're going to bump that speed to 80 BPM, which is just slightly faster. That'll sound a bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now keep in mind, while I'm doing the double strokes, I'm counting in my head 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and those are called eighth notes. Now that we've done that for a measure or two, we're going to bump the speed up to 80 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 80 BPM is a lot more exciting, isn't it? I know. Now, if you're playing with the metronome and you're doing those exercises we just went over, that helps just to do them about 5 to 10 minutes a day because that's more so a warm-up before your actual practice. Now, we're going to actually develop playing grooves within the metronome, and I would suggest doing these 10 to 15 minutes per day or honestly, however long you would like to do them. So now that we warmed up, let's focus on playing more complex rhythms while maintaining our timing. The goal here is to practice staying in time and learning how to count different note values. So if we're going quarters and eighths, you're going to set your metronome down to 70 BPM. And now that we are back down to 70 BPM, we're going to practice our quarter notes and our eighth notes still, but we're going to apply that with our hi-hat, our snare, and our bass drum in a simple groove where your bass drum is going on beats 1 and 3, and your snare is going on beats 2 and 4, and your hi-hats are going to be playing quarter notes, and then we're going to bump it to eighth notes. And for my advanced drummers, we're going to bump it to 16th notes, okay? Okay. And as a quick tip for this exercise, when you're playing the groove, please, I know it's going to get boring, but when you're playing the groove, try not to use ghost notes. Try not to use any doubles or get fidgety on your hi-hats or anything of sorts. Please just practice boom, ting, cat, ting, boom, ting, cat. Not boots and cats. And no, boom, ting, cat, ting, boom, ting, cat. Okay? All right. Metronome at 70. Now that was us playing quarter notes on our hi-hats while keeping our foot on the 1 and 3 and our snare on the 2 and 4. Now I'll progress to playing eighth notes on my hi-hats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that we've done quarter notes and eighth notes with our hi-hats, it might sound cheesy, but I would suggest doing quarter notes and eighth notes with your kick, your snare, and your hats, hitting all at the same time. That'll sound something like this. I'm going to do my quarters, and then I'll shift to my eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a very simple method, and like I said, it may sound pretty cheesy, but I find that doing the quarters helps me with my internal clock because of the space that's in between each note, especially when you're playing at a slow tempo doing quarter notes. Doing the eighth notes was a bit easier because there's more going on, and it's more so ba 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 rather than ba 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 ba. But it's the space in between that really allows you to know, okay, am I staying on time? Am I not staying on time? Because if you're playing with the metronome isn't going anywhere. Like I said, the metronome is your best friend. It's going to be with you through thick and thin. It's going to be with you through thick and thin. It's going to be with you through thick and thin. But if you move, then you'll be going too fast or too slow for the metronome. So I like that quarter note exercise where all of the drums are hitting at the same time because it helps me to know, okay, I actually am staying on time. All right, now the next level to this exercise while you're warming up is to play triplets. So we've done our quarter notes, we've done our eighth notes. Next would be for us to play triplets. Triplets are 3. Triple is 3. All right, triplets. It'll be right, left, right. But how they sound is 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, 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 trip. I'm not saying y'all tripping, but I was just playing my triplets. All right. All right, so when you're doing your triplets, that is a subdivision which will place 3 beats per click. So if you're playing to a metronome like we are now, I'll go from quarters to eighth notes to triplets. I'll clap for how many beats are supposed to be per click. All right, our quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Our eighths, which are 2 beats per click. So the click is going to be me saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or your metronome, and the amount of beats are going to be my claps, okay? So we're going to our eighth notes, which is 2 beats. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now, where we are now is the triplets. Okay, that'll be 3 beats, but it's more of a that's a subdivision. So we're going to go 3 beats per click. Sound a little something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are triplets. All right, now we are on to 16th notes, which is that last level. So we have our quarter notes, we have our eighth notes, our triplets, and our 16th notes. It's very, very rare that you'll be playing 30-second notes or, anything crazy while you're playing an actual gig. I guess unless you're playing like metal or some type of rock where they play really fast, like... I can't do that, so I'm not even going to try, right? So we're going to our 16th notes, which will place 4 beats per click. And normally, if you're counting that out, it'll sound like 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and But that E and are the 3 beats plus that 1 quarter note, which makes it 4. Okay? So with 16th notes, there are 4 beats per click. You got the 1 E and 1 E and all right, per click. And I'll play that through claps just like I did before with the eighths, the quarters, and the 16ths. It'll go, my mouth is the click, and my claps are the amount of notes between each click. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, or click, 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 click. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to move to 16th notes on our hi-hats, which would sound like this with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for my beginners or intermediate players, that can be a bit challenging at a fast tempo. So I suggest that you start from 60, just like we did with the boring quarter notes. But if you start from 60 and you do that repeatedly, you'll definitely improve to 100. So just for a little side warm up that you could do on your lap if you don't have drumsticks, or if you do have drumsticks, you could do these. You could fold up a towel, do them on the towel, do them on your pillow, wherever you can, where you're not making a whole bunch of noise, just anywhere. What I would like to do is show you all me at 100 BPM playing quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, and 16th notes just on my snare alone. And this is something that you could do on a daily basis. I don't have any specific time, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, nothing like that. You could literally do this at any time because you could do it on your lap and your legs are always with you, right? All right. So let's get into 100 BPM, changing between quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, and 16th notes, just as a good warm up for your hands. So now that we've moved to 16th notes, which is the last level of our hi-hat, kick, and snare groove, I'm going to go from quarter notes to eighth notes to triplets to 16th notes on my hi-hats as I'm playing a straight 2 and 4 groove. And normally when I say a straight 2 and 4, that just means snare on the 2 and 4 and my kick on the 1 and 3. So a straight 2 and 4 groove would sound like. All right, let's get into this exercise using our quarters, our eighths, our triplets, and our 16ths. Metronome BPM at 100, everybody! Nah, I'm just playing. And as y'all heard, I kind of lagged a little bit when I first started those 16ths, but I'm human and it happens. When you're in your practice time, one thing that I like to stress is that you should never be too hard on yourself, because when you become too hard on yourself, you just ruin the fun out of all that you're working to do. And also, when you're practicing, you are the king or the queen. It's your thing, all right? Don't let anybody tell you that you can't mess up when you practice. You have to practice perfectly and everything like that. No, there's a difference between perfect practice and practicing perfection, okay? So when you're doing your own thing in your practice room, I really, really do want to stress that if you mess up, please don't beat yourself down about it. Just continue to try and try again. No one can tell you or give you a limited amount of chances to get something right when you're in your own practice time. So listen, take it slow and do it right. All right? All right, now that we got a feel for the different subdivisions, Let's challenge ourselves by practicing without the metronome for short periods of time and then checking our timing. Woo, spooky. And what you could do with this one is you could put on your favorite song, but make sure it's something with a clear beat and a clear rhythm. I would say like Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, because it's just boom, gut, boom, gut, boom, gut, boom, gut, right? What you want to do is you want to focus on playing along to that song while maintaining the steady timing that the song has. And then when you're playing along with the song, make sure that you're recording yourself somehow. You could do a voice memo on your phone, or you could just sit your phone up right beside you, throw it on the floor or something. And what you want to do is record yourself playing to the song. And after you're finished playing with the song, listen back to it. Because sometimes we feel like we're on, but we were actually off tempo. Sometimes we feel like we were off tempo, but we were actually on tempo. So what you want to do is listen back to yourself playing just to, scout and see if you were on or off timing. One tip that I like to use to build my internal clock is I like to count silently in my head. And sometimes when I'm playing, y'all might see me count out loud. I'm like, it looks like I'm counting out loud, but I'm actually silently counting. But without that, without my mouth moving, I like to do the internal counts because it helps me to internalize like the groove and the feel of the song while keeping good timing. All right, now we're going to get into a little more of an advanced topic behind timing, which is polyrhythms and odd time signatures. For my beginners and my intermediate drummers, if you want to stay on to the lesson and watch the rest of it, you can. But this one is solely focused more to my advanced audience. So once you build a solid foundation behind timing, you can start experimenting with more complex rhythms like polyrhythms or odd time signatures. All right, so for the polyrhythms, here's what I'll do. I'll do eighth notes in my left hand and triplets in my right hand. So that's 2 against 3. Sounds something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 triplet, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, after the polyrhythms, we're going to dive into some odd timing. The most common odd time is 7/8, but you can also count 5/4 and a bunch of different other odd time signatures. So we're going to start by counting the odd time signature. For 7/8, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're going to stop at 7 each and every time. So I'll throw my metronome on and I'll put it to 7/8 and we're going to see what it does. So here we go. At 100 BPM, we're playing in 7/8 timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what y'all just saw me do is play a basic groove in 7/8, where each time I crashed on where the 1 should go. The 1 is always the reset, whether you're on 4/4, 5/4, 7/8, whatever time signature that you're in, the 1 is always the reset of a new measure. So now I'm gonna play a little more complex through this 7/8, and I'll let the metronome count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every time you hear the high beep, that's 1. All right, and I'm going to just play kind of around it. Let's see. And I was just thinking about not exposing myself, but I would expose myself because I want to keep it real with y'all. If you go back and watch that clip of me shedding just now, I did a hi-hat choke where I felt that the one was about to be, but it wasn't right there. But thanks to the metronome, woo, the almighty metronome kept me on time. All right. That's why I will always say the metronome is your best friend. And if you ever mess up, like I said, in your practice time, that doesn't matter. Just keep on playing it because I bet you if I didn't tell y'all that, y'all probably wouldn't notice that I did mess up. All right? All right. And another quick tip that I would give y'all, when you're playing a gig or even in your practice time, if you're playing to a song, a regular click track, or just a metronome, if you hear yourself going ahead of the tempo just a bit or lagging behind the tempo, it's okay. Just continue to play, but adjust yourself to the tempo. All right? And as a final piece for y'all, I want to let y'all know that having good tempo just isn't something that applies to you being on the actual drum set, but it applies to you just keeping the tempo with your band, whether you're just playing your hi-hats or if you're in rehearsal a lot of times. Somebody might ask you, hey, can you keep the tempo for us while we go over this part? And you have to sit there and go. But listening to music, and sometimes even if you want to just listen to a metronome, it'll help you to develop a feeling behind the timing, all right? And when you're just listening to your music and grooving along to it, that should help you develop your internal clock so that when you do get on gigs, your timing is flawless. All right, so we've reached the end of our lesson, but I don't want to leave y'all without a piece of application. Here's what I want y'all to do by the time I see y'all next week. Make metronome practice a daily habit of yours, meaning every single day, practice to a metronome, whether that's you just tapping on your legs or behind the actual drum set. Number 2, start slow, then increase your speed gradually as your accuracy improves. So that means like we started from 60 all the way at the top of this lesson and we ended up at 100. It's just that easy. As you practice slow, you'll start to feel it in your bones and then just speed that metronome on up like we started from 60 and now we're at 100. And beyond. And those are the daily pieces of application that I want you to apply. Just apply practicing to a metronome to your daily practice and start slow, then increase the speed as your accuracy improves. 2 pieces of application for y'all. That's not difficult. I want y'all to have that done by the next lesson. A final tip is for you to always listen to the music around you, whether you're playing along to it or if you're playing with other musicians, because timing is not just about being accurate, but it's about being musical and in sync with the feel of the pieces of the band that you're playing with. I appreciate y'all for tuning back into the crib. I will see y'all next week. I got to get back to practice. Peace.